guys, welcome in. We're live on a Thursday night instead of Wednesday night. Hope y'all doing well and everything. Thanks everyone for stopping by the TRC live last night. We had a fantastic time seeing all the nostalgia items, chatting. It was a great time. So, how's everybody?
Everybody's great, man.
Good.
Had a
Good.
great week.
Fucking
Hey,
pulled
can
my
somebody
beard.
somebody share us to the elite chat? Make
Yes,
sure
sir.
we're live in the elite chat, please.
I got you. You take me away, Will, and I'll do that.
Awesome. So, real quick, man, we had such a great time in Indianapolis. Hopefully, we got to see quite a few folks. I know we missed quite a few folks, but one of them being King Phil, man, we wish you were there. Definitely asked about you a lot, trying to get people to reach out to you and see when you were coming, but wish you could have been there with us. A lot of fun. Um, just some updates of some things going on, man. I've been struggling with this for a long time, and I think it's time that we pull the plug on a lot of the mail-ins that we've been doing and a lot of different things. So first of all, we've allowed people to send stuff in to us from other places to get certified, and we always try to be the ones to do that stuff. But if you guys could only read half the stuff that people say and the way they act and how unappreciative people are and how inconsiderate. One of the major things too is like with the certification process, I have to pay for all that up front, and I pay for it, me, and then I invoice everybody, and then as they pay, they reimburse for their items. But constantly chasing payments on that stuff is ridiculous. People will want their stuff done, but then they want to pay on their own time, their own schedule. That just doesn't work for us anymore. So we're going to cut all that out, and I'll be reaching out to a lot of people individually to kind of discuss it. I know it's not a popular decision, but enough's enough with the bull, and we're going to cut that out. Same thing with the mail-ins for conventions and stuff like that. Now, if we have a signing, if we have a guest that we're bringing to a show, and you want to mail in an item for them to sign, we can always work all that out. That's always going to be available, and there may be some minor exceptions there, but for the most part, like if we're attending a show, we're not going to be taking mail-ins anymore. At least the admins are not going to be taking mail-ins anymore. Me more specifically, I'm not taking any of that stuff because again, if you could read the stuff that people write and how they act over their items and trying to get payments and everything else, it's just become such a hassle. So I wanted to make sure that I gave those updates out. And again, I'll be reaching out individually to folks, but it's just become such a nuisance that it's not worth it anymore. So
All right,
that's what I
fantastic.
wanted to cover.
Hey, that's not a problem. So we want to go in our first round table.
Let's do it.
Let's
It,
go.
it can be a doozy. Favorite guest or items from Squared Circle. So, of course, my favorite guest that I saw was Lex. Well, I got the and Jerry. I got that one out of three. Not magazine shit. Souvenir. Help me out, Will. I'm tongue tied.
The original King of the Ring, 1995 King of the Ring program,
Yeah,
which
I got
in the
it
past
signed.
30 years,
I was scared to get it signed.
we've only seen 3 in the past 30 years.
1 of 3.
So that's why I got Jess to sign it because I was scared.
1 of 1, Kev.
Okay, start with Brian.
Well, I only needed a few things to get done in Indy, but I'm obviously meeting Lex was awesome, right? But I mean, really, the best part of the time was spending time with all of you guys. Hanging out, and so it's always a fun time to spend time with you guys. And the other people I met was the Headbangers, and those guys were really cool. Wanted to talk, but yeah, I'd say spending time with you guys was the best.
Yeah, that was awesome, especially Thursday night. It was a great time.
Because I got high.
We all went to eat at FU. It was delicious, so I heard. So pretty nice. All right,
I
Roger.
heard some cookies afterwards were pretty delicious.
Best cookies I ever ate.
Bucky's.
Bucky's cookies are fantastic, guys.
Bucky's.
And we are not sponsored by anybody, but we just happen to love us some Bucky's cookies.
Yes, we do. My my favorite one, other than hanging out with the guys and the blast we had, was meeting Will Osprey. He was actually really, really nice, very personable, and actually wanted, even though they had a huge, huge line to meet him, he wanted to take time and meet you and thank you and just talk with you. And so for me, that was really awesome. Other than that, meeting Lex, of course, first time to meet him, so meeting Lex was a great thing as well.
Nice. So just to respond to Chad, we're not talking about our live sales and items we sell. We're talking about items people send in to us to take to conventions because basically if we were going to a convention or a show and one of our members of the group or one of our friends would send us some stuff and say, "Hey, get this signed for me," we would just do it. We never charged any kind of a fee or anything like that. We weren't, doing consignments. We were just literally doing it to help people out. And they bitched so much, and they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay on time. They want to drag their feet. That's what we're referring to. We're not referring to any of our live sales or anything else. We're referring to people that literally just want to take advantage of us.
Well, not just that.
Right.
Well, not just that, but they don't even say thank you.
No, no, absolutely not. So, I mean, my time obviously was hanging out with everybody. There was nobody there that I hadn't met that I wanted to meet. But I would say, as far as the most I got signed was between Lex and Brett. So, super excited about all those pieces. Can't wait to show some of those in show and tell here shortly.
Chad says also, I guess he met Scott Steiner. Said did not disappoint as he's heard, I guess bad stuff as others. He said he was very gracious and funny.
He must have
I
caught
haven't
him
had
on a
any good luck with Scott Steiner. So.
yeah. He must have caught him on a good day because we met
Right.
him on Friday, I believe it was, and he wasn't in a good mood. Didn't even say
Yeah.
thank you. Just like, okay, here you go, $60.
Yep.
So
Thomas
yeah,
says he
just
might
caught
come
him on
out
a good
next
day.
year, but there may be some there, Thomas, but I'm not going to be there next year.
Yeah, I won't either. I'll be in New Orleans.
New Orleans is calling our name for next year.
Yep.
All right, Phil, I know you weren't there, but you were there with us
Uh,
in spirit, buddy.
yeah, I was there in spirit, and it would have been Bret Hart. And the reason why would be because I battle a lot throughout the year because I watch so much wrestling throughout the year, and I'll battle between who my top guy is, and it's always between Hogan and Bret Hart, Hogan and Bret Hart, and just since WrestleMania season started, um, Bret Hart's took it for me again, so. Uh, he would have been the person that I would have liked to meet the most, other than hanging out with y'all, of course, because that's what it is. But yeah, Bret Hart.
Awesome.
Awesome. Ben, what do you know?
My favorite part probably of Squared Circle as for talent wise, I was excited to see uh, Tori Wilson. But who did not disappoint me was Kurt Angle and Candice Michelle. Those two were great. Real chip, they chat, did about anything we asked, and took care of it. And then got to hang out with all y'all. Had some good times, laughs, some good stories, and it just flies by way too quick. But I was impressed also too that this year had more stuff as for merchandise for stuff that I collect than they had in the past, such as a lot of VHS tapes, and we had some of the retro figure type figures that I've been starting to collect too. And like I said, they had plenty of those, so I was excited about that.
So I'm going to add something on there and let you all know that Indy Hartwell is smoking hot.
Yeah.
Okay. In
So,
person.
so is Anna J.
So is Anna J.
Oh, I knew that 3 years ago when I had a picture taken with her. She loves me.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to have a picture taken with her this
You
year.
mean when she had her picture taken with you is what you
Correct. That's what he meant. Yeah.
No, I had it
that's what
right
I
the
meant.
first time.
meant?
And that's why he's the wise man.
Yep.
Mrs. OTC is in the house. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Jess.
So,
What's up, Jess?
Hey,
So,
Mrs.
Calvin, I
H.
know you weren't there, but if you were,
So, huge shout out to y'all for getting the Lex UE and Brett UE done for me.
Oh yeah, man. They
You
came
know,
out great
Will,
too.
Miss Jess, all y'all.
They came out beautiful.
But I mean, I'm excited for that Lex.
Yeah.
Lex was on. He was in a
Yeah.
great mood.
He
You
was
know,
in a
he was
great mood.
smiling.
Yeah.
I'll show you all a picture here in a little bit that he said, you know, take this. So from show and tell, but he was a great mood, just all happy.
That fresh Hall of Fame.
It was just that
Yep.
woman that was taking the
Yeah.
money beside of him that was an
Yep.
angry cunt.
Yeah. Don't get me started on her.
So I mean, she was,
Man.
you know, she's like, yo, sign this, and then she's like, okay, but that figure there is $110. What the hell's difference is between that and my turnbuckle?
Yep.
She never would tell me. She just said it's 110. Well, it ain't getting signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did the same
Yeah.
thing to me over a picture that had somebody else. The Hall of Fame picture. It had somebody else's signature on it. So then it was more.
All right, Manuel, what do you want to talk about?
I mean, I enjoy it. It's my second year. I always enjoy it because I talked to Matt Cardona probably 20 minutes. Super cool guy. He was more.
Ryan.
Who we lose?
He was
Yeah, we
more
lost Brian.
pissed. He told me he was pissed people are upcharging at conventions.
Did he? Okay.
His words to me was, none of these motherfuckers need the money to upcharge.
Well, that's true.
He said, I don't know why they upcharge. He said, I just don't know why. For a premium figure. He said, what? He said, you know, mock, premium, big picture, little picture. Just sign the fucking picture and take the money and go. That was his exact words to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, you know, and he didn't call no names, but he pointed to somebody's table and he said they're upcharging $25 for a larger photo. He says dumb. He said,
Yep.
and he had a point.
And how long have we been saying that here too, Manuel?
And he said, you know, he said, I don't understand. He said, I get it if you're broke. He said, but he said, all of us here, no matter if you had a hot cup of coffee in the business or not, you made a decent living.
Yeah.
Hey, Manuel, do you remember who else told us that? You remember in Evansville?
Oh, yeah. Wolf, or JC Ice.
Right. Jamie Dundee was saying that too. He
Jamie
was going,
Dundee,
these people are from Evansville. They broke. Why the hell are you charging all that money?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, it's a good point. I mean, he was just like, you know, I don't get it. And then he broke down of why. And when he broke it down for me, he said, I wish I can sign in the lobby for free all day. He said, but it's not fair to the people who spend the 40 at my table. Then he said, it's not fair to the people who spend my 40 than somebody who gets it free in the lobby. I mean, he broke it down because he was like, you know, people say I'm a dick. He said, but I don't want to sign for free because it's not fair for the people who just stood in line for 2 hours to get my
I
autograph.
understand that 100%.
And
Don't sign for free, but don't upcharge.
Yeah, he just said that, you know, I asked him how much it was, and I said, will you inscribe a picture for me? He said, yeah. I said, how much do you charge extra? He said nothing. He said, I'll inscribe for free. So that was cool that he, you know, you at least have one wrestler who's not a fan of upcharging, which he was in charge of his own money as well. So it wasn't like he had somebody there taking the money.
That's the other kicker to that is he doesn't have a handler.
Yeah,
that's
they don't have
taking
an
the
agent.
money that's getting
So-
got to get their part of it.
That was cool just to hear someone, you know, someone who's in the business, their perspective, because you never really hear them. A lot of them, they just sit there at the table and the person handling the money just says whatever and they just sign. I think it's more of a, I don't want to look like an ass with my handler. But Matt Cardona was like, I book myself on my shows. I book myself and I handle my own money. That way I know I'm not getting shitted.
Right.
Yeah,
Most of the time,
right.
Lex doesn't know what things are being charged. He just signs.
Yeah, he just signs. That's what happened with me because he asked her. It's like, why is he being charged more? And she said, because there's another signature on it. And he goes, okay. So he's just going off of what she says.
You know, and Cardona made a comment that like some of the older legends don't they rather have somebody else handle their money because they're just tired. He said a lot of them are just tired. He said they for 4 hours. He said they're just so broke down and bodies just so wore out it hurts them even to sit for 4 hours. So they rather just have, and it's one less thing they got to worry about is handling their money. He said, but then they're taking a risk of somebody not shitting them, you know. So, but
Well, as long as they trust that person, yeah.
Right. It was just cool to hear somebody else's perspective from in the business about upcharging. But he,
Oh, yeah.
You know, I haven't always been the biggest fan of Cardona, and especially his wife. Absolutely not
Right.
a fan at all. But I really respect that. I gain a lot of respect out of his fact of it because he still looks at it like a fan too, and I love that.
I mean, he walked over to he walked over to the Four Horsemen's table. He's, I'll be right back. And I mean, it was just me and his line. I was talking. He's, I'll be right back. And he went over and paid for an autograph for the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
He's like, I got 100. He's like, but they'll probably be. He said one of them will die. He said, I hate to be this way, but one of them will pass away before they all can get together and get another convention probably.
Yeah.
He said,
As
because you
long as
just
they don't do it before gathering, I'll be happy.
I mean, he was just saying, you sometimes you never know when you can see them together again.
Yep, that's
And
true.
he was like, he went over there. He said they wasn't upcharging. People tried,
Yeah.
the handlers tried, but they wasn't letting them.
Yeah.
So
And the thing was, him and Myers, they were out shopping for figures for themselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was up there to Nathan's table, and the both of them were up there.
Yeah, I mean, and I asked him, I said, "Are you a fan?" He said, "Man, he said when I just started collecting heavy." He said, "But man," he said, "I love it." He said, "Now I see why you guys come because it's a passion. Either you love it or you don't. That's why you get into it."
Shit,
But it was cool.
Cardona's been collecting forever, dude. He's got like every Hasbro.
Well, he just now starting to collect like loose figures.
All right.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see that. I mean, it was cool to get his perspective. That's what I enjoyed the most.
I mean,
just seeing what they think, because nobody ever asks them what they think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
Very true.
Good point.
I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, that's why they even brought out their own, toy line.
Yeah.
Because they want people to want what they want also. And we wouldn't have half the figures if they didn't. So
yeah, if it wasn't for those guys pushing so hard, a lot of these companies, in my opinion, like Hassel and some of the other ones, wouldn't be pushing out these badass retro figures like they are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So did we get through everybody on that topic? Because I know we switched up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Round table question number 2. Well, I did let him in.
He's right there.
Ryan's here.
Right
Okay.
there.
I just now got the damn text. Okay.
Yeah, it's telling me I'm backstage still when I'm on the screen.
Oh, I see you. You're right here beside Phil.
Sitting here talking.
Yeah, I can hear you too.
Okay,
I got you, Brian.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I got you right here beside Phil. All
But
right,
on my
guys.
screen, yeah, it's all good.
Number 2, rating WrestleMania or any other comments. Roger, you're next to me. Go for it.
Wow. I felt that WrestleMania was good. I think we talked about this before, and I gave it a A. I felt that the triple match, main event match, was a great match. I think the ending with Seth winning the way he did was great. There was a couple of matches that were so, but I think overall the card was really good. I felt that it was a good card. Like I said, you're always going to have one or two Dr. Nick go take a shit matches, and I can think of really only one off the top of my head. So I mean, I was pretty happy with it.
Which
What do you
match
rate
was
John
that?
Cena's
Which match
title
was
win?
that, Roger? Which match was that, Roger?
The Jade Cargill Naomi match.
Okay. What do you rate John Cena's title win?
That's a tough one for me because I actually thought it was going to happen. So for me, I'd rate it a solid B for the match. I thought it was a decent match, but I actually thought he was going to win it just because. Now going further ahead now with him and Randy, I don't know how they're going to play that off, but I thought it was a good match. I'd give it a B.
I loved when he won. I loved the match too. I just thought it was going to have more surprises at the end. I thought The Rock was going to come out.
I'll be honest with you. I did not like Travis Scott getting involved. I don't see where he's got
I'm not a fan.
other than he's got no business being in there other than having the song for WrestleMania. Other than that, he's got no business being in there. He's a nobody. So to me, that was stupid. But other than that, I thought it was a good match, and I expected him to win. So I it didn't disappoint me.
Okay, and one more quick question for you. What are you liking this Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins so far?
I am very much so. I also like the Braun Breaker joining them.
Great
My
addition.
thought possibly is who are they going to bring in to be a third, or are they?
Could it
I
be
think
Becky?
I was actually thinking that. I was actually going to say that. Could it be Becky now that she's turned heel? That you're going to have Becky, Seth, and Braun, which would be a great team. And with Heyman there, I mean, I think it'd be a great addition because you're going to turn around. It's inevitable. You're going to have Roman and Roman and CM versus Seth and Braun. But you're going to have Becky go for a title, which she should.
For
But
the
I mean,
Intercontinental.
that's a possibility too with Lyra. I mean,
Right.
anything's possible. But
Well,
I felt it was.
that match is confirmed for Backlash.
It's okay.
Mhm.
I felt it was. I felt that the Paul being with them was the right thing. I felt it was a good turn, and I'm excited to see what comes forward from it.
Fantastic. All right, Will, talk to me.
You know, WrestleMania, it's never ever going to be the same as it was with it being 2 nights. We know that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
overall, I would rate night 1 probably a 7, and night 2 an 8. Night 1, I think, had a lot of great matches. That main event was just phenomenal for night 1. And then you get into night 2. I think there was some slop, kind of in the middle. There was a little bit of
There was.
slop, a little bit of filler.
Yeah.
But then, for me, what really made it so good was the fact that Cena won that title. Now, did I think the match was over when he hit him with the belt and covered him? No. I kept thinking somebody
You
was
kept
going to come
saying it.
in. I kept
Yeah.
thinking somebody was going to come in. They were going to restart
Yeah.
the match. I did not, until I saw the credits, I
Right.
didn't realize it was over. I kept thinking, no, it ended kind of earlier than it normally
Yeah.
would have. And there was really no interference other than the whole Travis Scott, garbage. But I loved it. I haven't gone back and rewatched it. Normally, I'll go back, kind of rewatch some matches, kind of rewatch some things, and give my opinion. I haven't done that because obviously, a couple days later we left for Indy and all that. But just overall, the heel turn, then the run, to chase the title, getting the title, and now holding the title. This may be his best run since 2011-ish. This may be his best
I
run.
agree.
Definitely some of his best work. This is probably some of his best work since back when he told Brock Lesnar, "You can't get a concussion because you don't have a brain." You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Because
I
now we
love
know
that.
why he never had kids.
Yeah, exactly. There you
Yeah.
go. So
Exactly.
I love that part of it. I do think it all ends at some point with Cody or Randy or somebody taking the belt off of him, but that I think happens with him losing the title. I think his goodbye match is him and The Rock somewhere down the road.
I agree.
So
I agree with that also. Guru, what you think about WrestleMania?
I enjoyed it. I know for like the weeks leading up, I shit on Cena, but I mean, I kind of grew on me a little bit.
I know I was so proud of you. I was so
You
proud of
cheered
you.
for him.
He. Well, my mom, God rest her soul, she loved John Cena, and I never understood why, but I think I enjoyed him because my late mother and
Memories.
she loved John
Memories.
Cena. I was more excited. My guy Jey Uso did it, man.
They did.
Yeah, he did.
The yeet move. As Pat McAfee would say, I was yeeting in the bed that night.
Did you have to go take a yeet?
Yeah.
Hey, I played with my yeet. I was yeeting.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
I just felt like it was long. I mean, I felt like it was long overdue for him. I felt like, I mean, he's been over for what, 7, 8, 9 months. I mean, you just I mean, what was it last week before? He just walked in and just stood on the turnbuckle and got back off and got back on and it was just like a sea of just yeeting. I enjoyed it. I mean, there was a couple take a dump matches. I mean, the Jay Cargill Naomi match, take a dump match. War Raiders and New Day take a dump match.
New Day. I love the New Day.
Yeah, but you know what though, with Naomi though, man, I don't think it's her fault that's a take a dump match because she worked her ass off.
She did.
I think there should have been some other matches on the card that probably there wasn't. I mean, I think you could take a couple off. People were mad that Randy and Joe hit, but I mean, it's Randy, man. I mean, Randy can have a great match with a damn rock.
It didn't bother me. It was what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt sorry for Randy because I think Randy and Kevin Owens would have had a damn great match.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I say Randy deserves one more title run. I've said that for years. Randy's such a great worker, man, and it's like he don't age. I mean, like he just does. I loved it. I mean, I wanted to hate on Cena the whole night, but I couldn't. I tried during the match. I tried to be like, I tried, but my heart just wouldn't let me do it.
You say Randy deserves another title run. I say Randy deserves nothing.
Very true.
But who's to say he doesn't? Who's to say that he doesn't win against Cena? But who's to say he doesn't get it on go to Raw?
Me. He deserves nothing.
That's Randall. It's Randall Kyle. That's Randall Keith Orton. That's Randall Keith. But I enjoyed it. I felt like John Cena. John Cena. I see why Travis Scott came in. It's the entertainment factor. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was kind of weird, but they're a global scale. WWE's. I mean, they're on a global scale now. I mean,
yeah, but there was no entertainment value to that.
Yeah, but wasn't there like something somewhere I read that the reason they brought him in is because they got a plan in the future to do a tag match with Bad Bunny and Cody?
Right.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. Yeah, and plus, I did read that once Cena's wrestling career is over, he's going to go back to producing and making music.
Bad Bunny will beat his ass.
Travis Scott's a music producer now. Makes music. I mean, I think it's a long. What did The Rock say? That it's the story's just beginning. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I don't like the 2 nights though. Just me personally.
Yeah.
I want one night of just straight bangers.
Yeah.
After banger.
They've done it for how many years? I mean, they've done it since before COVID. I mean, it was just one night of just nonstop 3 hours. I'll take 4 hours, 5 hours if it's just all one night.
Right. I don't mind that. I'll stay up 6 hours if it's one night.
I'm not a fan of SummerSlam being 2 nights now. I feel like you lose people. You lose people. People get bored. They watch they watch who they want to watch, and then they get bored of everything else. But
right.
What do I know?
Well, hell, you have a great opinion, and you just let us know. So
one full night of just yeet after yeet after yeet.
Right.
Just me, yeeting on everybody.
I'm in a yeeting mood right now.
I'm just a big old yeeter.
Yep, there you go.
I was gonna yeet, but then I got high. So, all right, Brian, what you know, brother?
Well, nothing that you guys haven't said already. But a couple takeaways. Obviously, Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental title, the pop he got after he won that.
That was awesome.
Oh,
I didn't mind
it. He was heading back to the backstage, and I guess Triple H told him to go back in the ring. And
they said it was unplanned.
That pop was just amazing for him, right? And then AJ Styles, dude, why does he keep getting shit on? Like
that sucked.
I think he's leaving soon, myself personally.
Well, he said he wants to retire when he's 50, so he's going to stay with the WWE until then. But man, the dude's still in shape, can still do phenomenal things. Just why is he getting shit on all the time?
Yep.
Same reason why Karrion Kross does.
I get trying to make Logan Paul look great and stuff, but man, AJ still got a lot in the tank still. So, but I would give WrestleMania overall probably a 7.5 out of 10.
All right, awesome deal. Phil, what are you thinking?
I give it like an 8. It was pretty smooth.
You're on mute, Phil.
Why not?
On Brian's
I can't hear him.
I hear you, Phil.
I would give it an 8. I think everything was pretty smooth. Dominic, that's probably my favorite, win of the night. I've been waiting for him to get a belt for a little while now. Travis Scott, I mean, he's a global figure, so it makes sense that WWE's partnering with him. And I heard that he's been training to get in the ring, like on some long-term Logan Paul type thing. So this could be setting up his, whatever. But
He's pretty little to be doing the Logan Paul thing, though.
the
Right.
way that they did he just walked down to the ring all slow. It just didn't make sense. If you're going to interfere, then go ahead and interfere. But he's not, like you just said, he's little, so he doesn't even have that big presence. That's like an Undertaker type thing right there, where they make it all long and drawn out. So I don't understand what they were doing there. Yeah, it was a pretty solid card. Let's see. The main event, Cena. I mean, you got to love it. Let him go ahead and get the title. And then he'll defend it for the rest of the year, probably. I say until, I don't know. I think he'll keep it for a little while. I don't think
I'll
he's
go
going
for him to keep it until his next to last match.
to. Yeah. But,
Well, I'm open for him to keep it at least until we see him in Dallas. I mean, because I would like to see him with the title.
Yes, sir.
After that, he can lose it the next Monday night. I don't care.
He better have that fucking belt with him.
That's what I'm saying.
He better. I'm a bit pissed off. I'll fucking tell him off. Tell him that he deserves nothing.
Kev's gonna whoop John Cena's ass.
And then he'll tell me I deserve nothing. And I'll say, yes, sir. And I'll walk away.
Hey, speaking of John Cena, though, anybody see that movie Ricky's to Nikki with John Cena?
The what?
Yeah, I have.
That
funny.
shit's funny. It's funny.
is.
It's crazy funny.
All right, Ben, what's your thoughts?
I enjoyed night one the most. It was like odd the first time that I watched all, as of night one, everybody that I predicted or would like to see win won. I enjoyed the Jey Uso tapping out Gunther. Start off the show. I enjoyed Tiffany Stratton and the Charlotte Flair match and Tiffany winning. And in night two, it was like everyone I picked got beat or didn't win. And
Me too. Me too. I didn't like on night one. I picked everything right.
Yep.
Because you even done that contest. Night two,
Yep.
I didn't do shit right.
I didn't
was
either.
the opposite.
I got the last match right.
I was good on night 2. Night 1 was bad.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. They're just as surprises. You have Becky Lynch popping out. You had the Joe Hendry. I enjoyed that. And then
And Marin did.
yeah,
Marin
Marin did
enjoyed
too,
that.
and she bawled like a baby after Joe Hendry lost and Cody lost. So it was not a good night too. But other than all, like I said, it was entertaining. I was just waiting for like The Rock to come out, even though they said he was in Hawaii during that time, and I still thought that was going to be a kayfabe that he's actually there and making up something. But that's the only thing I didn't really understand. And then the Stone Cold evidently run into the barricade, and supposedly that woman got hit. And
About 3
She
seconds
didn't.
later, Phil.
yeah. So, but I did find out, which was something interesting, about everybody keeps pointing out about that guy in the green shirt, and he was everywhere. Well, come to find out, he was in an old video where he was behind Punk when Punk goes out in the stands and he turns around and the Punk got hit in the back of the head, and he turns around and punches that guy. Well, that's that guy. So evidently he's got all these things now, I guess, to be at shows or up at the front row due to that, which, hell, I'd take a punch and be in front row of WrestleMania every year, but
I'm Marin.
Me too.
That's why
Me
I always
too.
wondered, because he's at every main event.
yeah, he is. And he did a walk down the ramp, the entrance, and then he was also a special timekeeper at one time during
Shit, they
WrestleMania
can
this
beat
year.
my ass and put me the power bomb, whatever the hell they want. 2
Yep.
hours of beating my ass over that.
I would
Hell,
too.
now
But
that lady must have gotten some stuff because they said as soon as Stone Cold hit the side, and then he went to the back. Was it Nick Khan rushed down there and was checking on her? So she's got some shit coming too.
and then to top it off, the only other thing too is I wish they did the Hall of Fame a lot earlier. I don't know why wait until 1 o'clock Eastern time. I know it's out in Las Vegas, but I was looking forward to it. And then, like I said, I look forward to the Lex's Lex's announcements and him talking. I look forward to seeing Fred up there. Like I said, we got to work with those two. And then, of course, I grew up as a Triple H fan, but then I had to watch it the next day, and where it was just so long-winded, I just kind of fast-forward through it all and picked up bits and pieces. But overall, the Hall of Fame.
Half of us watched it till like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, before you jump on.
We were on the live.
Unlike some of y'all, we ain't old. We like to stay up late.
I got to get my beauty sleep. But overall, it was not a bad 2 night.
Yeah. All right. OE said I thought Mania was his last match. I guess he's talking about Cena, but it was his last Mania, not his last match.
Yeah, this is his last WrestleMania.
So I want to go. Calvin, what do you think?
So I feel like night one was the best. Of course, Jey Uso and Gunther set the tone for the night. So, I mean, I really enjoyed that. Most of it, I enjoyed watching it with y'all on here.
Exactly. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that was the best. So I didn't really get to watch the Cena Cody Rhodes match because I was driving, listening to y'all telling me what
I was trying to commentate for you the best I could.
Hats off to you. You done it.
It was hard. It was hard, man, because I was in shock too at the same time, so it was hard. But I enjoyed it.
Overall, I enjoyed it.
All right, guys. Awesome. Now we're going to go in our main event, and it's top 4 cage matches, and you can't use Hell in the Cell.
Hell yeah.
So most of mine, who of mine? Yeah. Brett. Mine was Brett versus Owen in a cage. Brett versus Bulldog in a cage. I forget what my third one was, and then I went with King Kong Bundy and Hogan.
Good picks.
On WrestleMania 2. That's my favorite cage match, not being Hell in a Cell, is Bundy versus Hogan. And I think it's very, very underrated. I think it should be called out some more, or actually used more. And when they talk about great matches, or even
I know we talk about it a lot. We talk about it a lot here, but nobody ever talks about that match.
Well, they need to, because that was a great match. Because when I knew we was going to do this topic, I went and rewatched it. And I'm just like, man, it's just so great. It should be up there with the top main event matches.
Mm-hmm.
Roger, what's your 4?
See, mine was King Kong Bundy, Hogan, WrestleMania 2, Brett and Owen, and my other 2, which I couldn't remember if they were WrestleMania or not.
That didn't have to be.
Braun Strowman and Shane, and then Edge and Finn Balor.
Okay.
That's the one where Finn got the 17 stitches.
Wasn't that Hell in the Cell though?
No. Was it?
It was.
Oh.
Come on, Roger.
Shut up, Brian. Shit.
My bad, Roger.
Let you use it. It's fine. But see, one reason why I wanted to do this topic too is, I love cage matches. So you're all going to be telling me, I'm going to go back and watch it. Y'all going to give me ideas for matches to go back and watch that maybe I haven't seen for a while.
Mine are all classic, Kev, so
I know that.
Enjoy mine.
Let's go.
Halloween Havoc 94, Hogan and Flair.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable cage match, man. Mr. T out there is the enforcer. Just a great match. Thunder Cage is what they called it at Super Bowl 4. Ric Flair and Vader was incredible. Absolutely loved that. There's 2 from WCW. Over in WWF, it's hard not to pick Brett and Owen because it was a great match, but I'm going to go with Brett versus Yokozuna in the original cage match. A lot of people haven't seen it, but it is on the WWE Network or Peacock, whatever you call it. Brett versus Yokozuna was a really good match, really good cage match. And then, of course, you got to go Hogan Bundy. WrestleMania 2 main event. You know, WrestleMania 1 was huge. WrestleMania 3 was huge. WrestleMania 2 just does not get the credit. But if there wasn't a good WrestleMania 2, there never would have been a WrestleMania 3. And I
Right.
think that's what people fail to understand all the time. Like, literally, people filled three different arenas for WrestleMania 2. Three cities, three arenas, plus movie theaters watching it on closed circuit television back then in 1986. Like, that's how big WrestleMania 2 really was, you know? And I think it deserves another look. Go back, you know, take your time, watch a match or two at a time if you need to, but go back and watch WrestleMania 2. It's a lot better than you would think it is. So those are my four.
Guru, how about you, man?
So I got mine wrote down. Mine are not going to be WWE. So
That's fine.
Imagine that.
I got Lockdown 2010, Kurt Angle versus Mr. Anderson. The
Great match.
infamous Kurt Angle does the moonsault off the top of the cage.
Oh shit! I know one of yours.
Nashville 2003, TNA's very first cage match was one of the greatest rivalries in that company was AMW versus Triple X, Elite Skipper, and Christopher Daniels. Then Turning Point 2004 was the infamous Elite Skipper cage walk.
Okay.
Probably my favorite match I've ever watched. I watched it today at work because I was bored. And then
I'm probably with you. I watched that live. It was fantastic.
It's just. I'm not going to get up there and walk that cage. Sorry.
No, and I'm like,
he's
not going to do this.
You have any idea how hard that is to do?
And timing is everything.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like he walked it and then just done some little move. He walked it and done a Hurricane Rana off, to the other dude.
And then my last one is the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks, All Out 21. When the Lucha Brothers won their tag team titles. But that Elite Skipper match, man, I talked to Wildcat Chris Harris at a convention and I asked him about it, and he said that that spot was unplanned. He said he was trying to climb down the cage, and he seen Elite Skipper walking on the cage, and he said he looked at him and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And he said, "Just hold on." And he said, "Next thing you know, I'm, 40 feet in the air on my back, flipping around, hoping I don't break my damn neck."
Ask him, that's his favorite match he's ever been in. Yeah. He told Winston-Salem 2 years ago. Got a chance to talk to him. That's his favorite match he's ever got to be in.
If you've never truly watched just that match, the whole pay-per-view was good, but just that match, it's just, Elite Skipper was good. He was good in WCW, but he really flourished in TNA. And that was the early TNA when TNA was really before TNA went to shit.
Well, damn it, Manuel, this sucks. I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. I ain't used to this shit.
Have you ever watched the very first cage match in TNA history? Have anybody ever watched it?
I have. I watched a lot of TNA when it first.
I know it's on their website.
I was one of the idiots that used to buy the Wednesday pay-per-views for like $5 for 2 hours or whatever.
It's on the Impact their app. It's just deep in their archives, but it's their very first. It was like Nashville, like their very first Nashville, one of their very first show they ever did, and it was their very first cage match. And Elite Skipper did like he did like a moonsault off the top of the cage into the crowd on top of James Harris and like knocked out like 80 people. So it's a pretty wild match, but those are some of my favorites.
All right, thank you, sir. Brian,
what you got? So I watched this one specifically today because I don't think I've ever seen it before, and I picked it, and it was one of Williams. But number 1 is Hulk versus Bundy. Number 2 is Brett versus Owen. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is Hogan versus Flair in that retirement match.
Yeah, it was great, man, wasn't it?
Right. Oh yeah, and of course Hogan won. But and then my 4th one is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Paul White comes up from under the ring.
Yep.
Launches Stone Cold out of the cage, opens the cage, and then obviously Stone Cold wins. Stone Cold had to win that match to go to WrestleMania for the title. So
right,
that was a good match. So Yeah.
Cool deal. Appreciate it. Thomas Brunette has chimed in. He's got Hogan versus Bossman, Flair versus Vader, War Games 92, and Piper versus Rude.
I didn't think War Games was part of it. There were some good War Games, but I didn't put those in there.
That's what I was thinking. That's what he's got. What's up, Phil?
So I got that last match that Brian just said is definitely in there. Stone Cold, Mr. McMahon. I like that match. I like the Halloween Havoc match that Will mentioned earlier. I like Flair and Harley Race. They had a great cage match.
Yeah, they did.
A flare for the gold, baby. A flare for the gold is what it was called.
Yeah, slid in there with a nice upset.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. And then, Owen versus Brett.
You know, originally they weren't even sure because back then, remember it was the NWA commission that decided who was going to be the champion. They weren't even sure they were going to let Flair take the belt off Dusty because Flair's first title run was so bad that they weren't sure they wanted to put it on him a second time. You remember that? You guys remember the history of that? Because they had the NWA commission back then. So it was like a table, like a boardroom table of guys that decided who was going to be the champion. But Harley was ready to be done because he was like 7-time champion at that point. You know? And of course it went to Flair and Flair, kind of took off. That was post his wreck too, his airplane crash.
His airplane crash, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know, Roger, I know you've already went, but I got to give you your number one cage match. Okay? I'm going to help you out here. Kerry Von Erich versus Ric Flair when Michael Hayes turns heel.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you can't knock that one at all.
That's your new number one.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Definitely.
The door that closed. It was what, Christmas Eve show?
Yep. Yeah, it was. Oh shit, I can't remember what it's called. It was the
What Star? No,
Start.
I don't remember.
Oh shit! Now I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, and Michael Hayes wanted him to come out and wanted him to do something he wouldn't cheat, and so Michael Hayes slammed the door on his face.
Right.
Later on, they recreated that moment later on at Fall Brawl '97 with Mr. Perfect slamming the cage door on Ric Flair's head. You guys remember that?
I should remember perfectly.
That's where that moment came from.
Yeah.
Right. Who we at now, Ben?
It was in Dallas in the stadium.
Yep.
All right, mine would be as for the top steel cages, we're gonna do Mankind versus Triple H. So you get your early
Here you go,
time
Roger. Christmas Star Wars. Thomas said it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
And then we'll do Brett versus Owen, and then we're gonna also do as for me, my last one would be one I experienced, but then number 3 would be we're gonna do it's always a tough one between I'm gonna choose the Flair versus the Harley Race over the Flair versus Hogan.
Really?
And then
really?
Yeah, really. And then number 4 was I was there. I was at a whole pay-per-view in 2010 TNA lockdown, and the whole pay-per-view course is all steel cages. Lethal Lockdown was Team Flair versus Team Hulk Hogan, and you had the end. You had Bischoff coming out, and then there gave Hogan the brass knuckles to bust up Ric Flair. But out of that card, the one I enjoyed was the Outsiders versus the Dudley Boys.
Okay.
Back then, you didn't get a lot of chance to see, great tag teams like that, because the Dudleys came in later in WWF or WWE. So then you still had the Outsiders still around, and actually they put on a great match. But that was a good pay-per-view. So those would be my top 4.
All right, appreciate it. Calvin, talk to me.
All right, so all but one of mine has been mentioned, but Hogan
mention
Bundy,
it anyway.
WrestleMania 2. Stone Cold versus Vince, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Brett versus Owen, and then Triple H versus Ric Flair, Taboo Tuesday, 2005.
Oh wow.
Nice. That is good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Julian Munez says, "Is homie eating a bowl of cereal? Let's go."
Fruity
Let's see,
Pebbles.
James G's got
Let's
Eddie
go.
versus JBL on that SmackDown episode, underrated cage match.
I agree with that too. That was a good one.
Actually, I was going to say Brian Christopher versus Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, USWA taste, baby. I watched
Oh,
it
say
this
it.
morning.
That's awesome. You know,
I can't believe Ben thought that Harley and Flair was a better match than Flair and Hogan in the cage, though, man. I don't know. That's a tough one.
You haven't watched
Real
it.
fast, two
They're
things.
both
If you
nice,
guys
man.
haven't watched, is the Dark Side of the Ring Eddie Gilbert.
Eddie Gilbert, it was
You need to watch it.
fucking phenomenal.
It is. And then also on Max, if you have Max, Investigative ID had what is it, Demon something on it's called The Real Iron Claw. It's about an hour and a half, hour something long about the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
It's after the Iron Claw movie, but it's called The Real Iron Claw.
I haven't watched it.
yeah.
I've seen it, but I haven't watched it.
It's good.
Great watch. It
Yeah.
actually has interviews with Carrie's two daughters, Kevin's wife, and Kevin's daughter. So excellent. Who's ready for some show and tell, guys?
Let's
Me.
roll.
Hell yeah.
Carrie's
I got about
Carrie's
15.
daughter is smoking hot too, man.
Well, both of them are. I never seen the brunette before, but of course
Lacey.
I had seen Lacey, and she is smoking hot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go first here. Let me share my screen. Okay, here we go.
That's cool.
Y'all see it?
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
Stone Cold,
Hell
baby.
yeah.
Stone Cold.
Oh hell yeah.
There's my first one. There's my second. I love this.
That's sick right there. Yeah.
That is nice.
Nice.
I've had that for a few years. I got that off Will.
That's
Nice.
beautiful.
And here's the one that I was talking about. He said, "You want to take a picture?" I said, "Absolutely,
go.
sir."
Oh wow. What a
That's
shot.
nice.
Beautiful.
Look at that smile.
Beautiful.
So I got that signed, and he was happy. I mean, it was his idea to take the picture.
Yep.
Could you imagine getting that picture signed by him?
I'm going to.
Next time you see him.
Right. I mean, he is just such a great guy. I mean, you just almost cry when going up there because he's just so, I congratulated him, and he's like, "Thank you," and just all around
That's dope.
perfect guy, dude.
That's dope.
Yeah, just all around a great guy.
Me and Ben seen him in the hallway, and he was like, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!"
Did he really?
He said, "Legends coming through, a Hall of
Lex
Famer."
Express.
That was
He
awesome.
was just, he was just cutting up and laughing.
Right.
All
All right, Roger, what you got?
All right, so I got just for Brian. I got my pull me up, Kev. Jeez, you have one
Beat
job.
him up, Scotty.
Give me a second.
Damn, Kev.
I'm going
One
through.
job.
I got two jobs. I got a whole bunch of jobs. I'm going through all these comments.
I got the Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross Simpsons edit.
That's dope.
Man, they done old Jim Ross dirty, ain't they? Look, he's fucking older than hell.
And then I got the Four Horsemen.
Wow.
I got that completed this weekend.
Nice.
That's a hell of a piece right there.
Good little
I know, I
cleavage,
love
baby
Love
doll.
it.
And then the piece that knocks it out of the water. Give me 1 second here.
You better get that thing out of the water. There you go.
Wow. Look at that pop.
Lex Luger, Scott Steiner, and Tatanka.
Hell yeah. I love it. I actually
Did you get
saw
Steiner on
I saw those in person. They all look great.
Yeah. That white pops and Scott did the silver. Well, it was kind of white, but it turned out silver. And Tonka did the white, and Lex did the white, and it pops.
Yeah.
And he put on there. Lex put on their Hall of Fame 25.
There you go.
Fantastic. All right,
And that's
appreciate it.
That's all I got.
This is like
My
some of the
tribal chief.
first Hall of Fame pieces that he signed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We had some good stuff for sure. All right, my turn. You guys, a lot of you were with me, but I was able to knock one more Hasbro off the list.
Look at
The
that.
old
Beautiful.
white and black Yokozuna. It needs a
Beautiful.
little figure bath, need a little cleaning up, man. But this thing's gonna pop like crazy once it's had a little figure bath. I just now took it out of the case that it came in because I mean I'm still kind of behind on everything, but got that. And then of course, still working on this project piece. Roger saw it in person. Some of y'all might have saw it in person too, but a little harder to see in the frame. But
Oh yeah, I did.
got
Look at
got
that.
Brett on there, got Lex on there. Of course, got some other names on there: Demolition, Flair, Sid, Sarge. You know, some really good ones. So, still working on that piece. My next one on that will probably be Hogan. Looking forward to that. And then my third and final piece for tonight. There's so many.
Don't do it.
The brand new Hogan
Rip it.
Ultimate.
Brand new Hogan.
These,
Rip it.
these are actually kind of difficult to find in the stores. I had to order mine online and it was shipped, but you know what time it is? It's Wednesday night. Close your
Rip
eyes,
it.
boys and girls.
Throw it over your head. Let's hear that cardboard. There we go.
Rip it.
Rip it in honor of Calvin.
Hey, I'll find one.
Hey,
There
it's
it is.
sweet though. It is
Very
pretty
sweet.
sweet. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
the back of the shirt.
Running
Look
wild.
at that.
See, if you
Running
didn't open it,
wild.
you never would have seen that shirt.
I know, still running wild, baby. I love it. And that is my three for this week. I've got a lot more, but we'll get to them as we get to them.
All right,
Sir.
thank you, sir. Mr. Bowman.
Real quick, out of the ones I got, I already showed you all the
Rip it good.
VHS, but I was able to get the Chase Bobby the Brain Heenan,
Rip it.
Rip it.
Rip it.
Rip it.
Rip it.
and then the
Rip it.
last one on show and tell
Rip it.
would I had to get the Macho.
Rip it.
Rip
Rip
it.
Rip it.
And
The
then
only
Mare Bear,
reason,
Are you ignoring
only
us?
reason I didn't go back and get
Ignoring
those.
us.
I didn't go get
And
those
then-
machos.
then Baron, she got a donut kitty cat,
Let Mary
And she
rip 'em.
got a unicorn.
Hey.
And then she got a kitty cat blanket and pillow. So she's there's her three.
Nice.
Kitty
Then
cat
that's all we
now.
got.
Okay, rip it. Rip it.
Rip
No,
it.
Rip the
it.
macho. Mary,
no.
rip the macho.
I'll rip that macho. I have that same macho. I'll
Do
rip
it.
it next week.
Do it.
Do it.
All right, Calvin.
All right. So I got this in from Fanatics.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Y'all know what's going to happen to this in the
Gorgeous.
future.
Yeah.
You gonna rip it?
Gorgeous.
You gonna rip it?
No,
Rip it.
no, no, hell no. I'm going to pack this back up and send it to Roger,
Oh,
but I got this in.
Mm.
Got to get
Hey,
it signed
hey.
by Cena.
Hey, Kev, I know a guy getting one of those signed too.
Hell yeah, I do too.
I do too.
And I do too.
And then huge shout out to Manuel.
Copycats.
I got one from Will a while back I want to get signed, but Manuel
Rip
sent
it.
me this, so you know what to do.
Rip
Nice.
it.
Rip it.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Oh, tear the hell out of it. There you go.
There you
There you
go.
go. There you go. Throw that cardboard.
I love that throw. That's awesome.
But that's mine.
Nice.
Love the rip. Guru.
Hey, I see. We're gonna have like 8 of those posters to get signed in Dallas in about 4 weeks.
right.
Yeah.
All right, so I came home from Indy and got an early birthday surprise. I'm gonna show you guys three photos. So I got this bad boy. I haven't even opened it yet.
Oh wow.
Who the
What's
hell's
that?
making that noise?
Who's making popcorn?
Thomas
So,
ain't in the chat.
I got that
he's
one.
He's in the chat, not in the
Hey,
room.
Roger, you'll like this one.
What's this one? Nice.
Nice.
And then I got
Somebody's been good this year.
to finish it out. I got the CM Punk defeat Seth freaking Rollins Raw debut, Netflix.
Oh, nice.
I haven't hung them. I haven't even took them out of the plastic yet, so I got to figure out what to do with them.
Man, those are fucking awesome.
They're numbered. This is the Raw debut is 56 out of 500, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Man, I missed out on that Tony Storm Schamberg today.
Yes,
It was
I know.
awesome. It was timeless. I missed out.
Try to get on there and order, and it was already gone.
Yep, I missed
But
that.
I got some other stuff, but I'll show it next week.
All right, appreciate you. All right, let's go to King Phil.
All right. My birthday was a couple days ago too.
Happy
Right here.
belated.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh yeah, I love that set.
For life.
Hashtag
Nice.
who's making that fucking noise?
Rip it.
I love that.
Mrs. Elkins.
Rip it.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. This week it was me making the noise. I was ripping the Hogan figure out of the package. I didn't realize it, but then I muted. It was me.
It was me.
Is that all you got?
It? One and done?
Yes, sir. One and done.
Rip it. Okay.
He
Don't
doesn't.
pick on him no more.
He doesn't.
Rip it.
He doesn't take peer pressure.
Brian.
All right, Brian.
Where we
Brian's
go?
asleep.
Brian's froze.
Rip
He
it.
froze?
He froze.
Something. Hold on, put it back on
Yo,
him.
Brian.
Put it back on him.
Brian froze. It's that Nebraska internet.
He's in the boom boom room.
Born internet.
All right.
There he is. Brian, your
You are
turn.
spinning.
Whichever one you are.
It's that Nebraska
Okay, so I got
internet.
two-
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Fuck. I don't know what's going on tonight.
That Nebraska internet.
Nebraska internet.
All right, I got. The fuck.
You're turning sideways.
All
And
right, there we go.
There we go.
there we
Dude,
go.
I'm acting, so I'm acting like Kevin on Thursday night. I don't know what I'm doing. So I got this. I got this from Will the other day. Kane photo. Kane.
Oh, hold on, I
Spotlight
gotta-
photo. There you go.
That's got to be
That's
Kane.
beautiful.
It's gotta be Kane.
So in Indy, I seen Lex, and I had this OG photo file, and I got it. After much debate, I got it in purple. But Lex Luger
All
Hall of
right.
Fame 2025.
Beautiful.
Nice.
That purple
Brian,
pops.
Brian, I think you and I made the right decision on that purple, man. That looks great.
I agree. It does look good. And then this last piece, I talked with William a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. I got a pretty good Grail piece in, and I was skeptical. I brought it with me to Indy. I didn't really show it to many people, but I got a JSA certified. Obviously, it passed, but Macho Man.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
It says
That's
to Brian.
beautiful.
So I'll be getting a letter in soon, hopefully from this. But yeah, that thing's beautiful.
Guys, just an FYI too on that, Brian. I know you know this, but some of you other guys are waiting on letters too. Letters right now are taking like a minimum of 8 to 10 weeks. So just so you know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Great show and tell. Fantastic show.
Oh yeah.
And had a great time talking to you guys, hanging out. Will, you want to take us home, brother?
Yep, I'll take us home. I'm currently putting the belt here on Hulkamania, brother. But you know,
Brother.
biggest thing about these conventions is, you know, regardless of the goods, the bads, all that stuff, it's all about the hanging outs, the having the good times, the laughs,
Yes, sir.
the randomness. You know, sitting around eating breakfast, talking about, you know, Billy Bob Thornton and Sling Blade. That's what matters, man. You know, the pieces you didn't get done or the pieces you got done. At the end of the day, that's not what matters. The fact that you know, he'll slap the piss out of Linda, you know, that's not what matters. It's all about the fun times. So really enjoyed it, man. I can't believe it's over. It came and went so fast, but really looking forward to Dallas and really looking forward to next week. We'll be live on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, back right here Wednesday night at 9 o'clock for TRC Uncensored. So can't wait to see everybody then. We're trying to get back on a normal routine. This week we were a little thrown off with JSA. But other than that, that's about it. So have a great week, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.